We now turn to the very, very volatile situation between Havoc and Haskins, the unstoppable deadly duo that they truly are, and Rob Lynch. Rob Lynch this time has decided to draft in Doug Williams. This is going to be a tag team match of the 80s. Here it comes. It's Havoc, Haskins, Lynch and Williams. Well, we talk about Haskins, we talk about Havoc, and we know what they bring to the table. We know what they've been bringing to the table in IPW for quite some time. But what we touched on a little bit less there, from what I've just said, was what Rob Lynch brings to the table. Rob Lynch, of course, former IPW Tag Team Champion in his own right.
This match is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, from London, this is battle-tested Rob Lynch!
And when you talk about Rob Lynch, look at the return he had. International Battle Royale, Rob Lynch made a definitive statement. He made a statement when he came back. Almost wrestled the IPW World Championship away from Mark Haskins on a very recent broadcast live at Unit 9. And what a tag team partner he has with him, just to add to the prestige.
And his tag team partner from Reading, he is one of British Wrestling's finest ambassadors. This is Doug Williams!
Rob Lynch has made one hell of an impact since he's come back, and this man has been making an impact for 25 years in the business. It's the ambassador, it's Doug Williams. They do have their work cut out for them during this broadcast, so ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest, Rob Lynch is formidable as is Doug Williams, but they are going up against a team who truly have been on the same page. And I don't even mean the same page a little bit. I mean constructively, against any shadow of a doubt, the most formidable duo in IPW history. We're not just talking the world champion. We're not just talking one of the longest reigning world champions of all time. We are talking about two men who, since joining together, have been unstoppable. They have laid waste and wreaked quite literally havoc wherever they have turned. Rob Lynch has felt that sting before. Austin Aries has felt that sting before. Matt Tremont, the American Deathmatch legend, has felt that sting before.
And their opponents, firstly, from Melbourne and Worcestershire, he is your IPW World Champion, the workhorse, hell-bent Mark Haskins!
And I can tell you, I don't think our camera saw this vantage point, but I'd like to make it clear anyway. Rob Lynch's eyes did not flinch for a second off Mark Haskins. Mark Haskins intently staring at Rob Lynch intently staring at Mark Haskins. These two are going to meet. IPW Fight for Your Right, July 22nd. The IPW World Championship will be on the line. Rob Lynch had a taste. He was so close last time. If he gets the freak out the next time he's in the ring with Mark Haskins other than today, he will be an IPW World Champion, and the reign of Haskins will be over. Haskins gave the choice to Rob Lynch. He extended an olive branch. It might have been coated in a bit of malice, but he gave him an olive branch nonetheless. He turned it down. And when he turned it down, he didn't just face the wrath of the IPW World Champion Mark Haskins, but he faced the wrath of one of the longest reigning IPW champions in history, and the man who created a dynasty around his own name, his own mystique. One of the kings of the deathmatch himself.
And his tag team partner from Camden in London, he is the king of the North, Jimmy Havoc!
And when we qualify him as king of the deathmatch, we have to make that clear why we're saying it. The winner of the Tournament of Death forces in IPW have joined since Parade of Champions, since Mark Haskins lost the second of his 3 matches against Austin Aries. They then joined, they then fused together, and ever since they did that, they have been truly unstoppable. Now, Haskins and Havoc, of course, they extended the olive branch to Rob Lynch in the first place. Rob Lynch, of course, denied it, and while let's be honest, he basically told them where to go. They then beat him down. But Rob Lynch wasn't satisfied with that going down the way it did. Of course he wouldn't be. He was beaten down. So what did he do? He cost Havoc and Haskins the World Tag Team Championships. Last time it was live at Unit 9, the Filthy Club retained the titles because of Rob Lynch deciding he'd interject. He got a bit of a kicking for his troubles, but he certainly made a statement to Haskins. Slap by Haskins. We were waiting for the moment to expose like a powder keg of Mark Haskins. Well now, well that is interesting. Mark Haskins knows. He knows he's got Rob Lynch at Fight for Your Right on the 22nd of July. With the acid rainmaker early to Jimmy Havoc, and instead he runs into a shoulder block from Rob Lynch. It's not often you see Jimmy Havoc put on the back foot at the beginning of the contest, but that's what's happened. Pokes the eye by Havoc. Linsky trying to admonish Havoc. I'm not sure that's going to get very far. Oh, the power of Lynch trying to take Havoc's head off, and you know he'd like to. We heard the comments that Rob Lynch made to Havoc when Havoc tried to recruit him along with Haskins. Lynch wants no part of either of them. He's dealt with them before and he told them where to go. Shoulder block off the top, the battle-tested one. His career completely rejuvenated in recent times, and here is a man who is the personification of rejuvenation. The ambassador. On the last occasions we saw Doug Williams, he took down the ring general Christopher Daniels. That happened in Clapham. Clapham was happy hunting ground for Doug Williams and for Jimmy Havoc. Jimmy Havoc beat Tremont, and Doug Williams, he beat Christopher Daniels. 2 high-profile scalps from the King of the Goths and the Ambassador. Find themselves at opposite ends of the ring here, though. And with that is Lynch back in off the tag from Williams. Oh. Rob Lynch just drilled. He drilled Havoc down. He pushed him with serious intent, smacking the turnbuckle. Could have done damage there to the top of the back of Havoc. Jim Havoc, of course, was IPW World Champion for almost 800 days. Only the East End Butcher Shah Samuels has held the belt for longer. And in that time, Jimmy Havoc wasn't just champion. He was the king. He was the ruler. He was the dystopian leader of a dynasty in IPW. Well, Doug Williams, the experience shining through, saw what Haskins doing, saw what Havoc was doing. You have to have eyes in your back of the head. Oh, what a kick, and the eyes in the front of his head just almost rolled over thanks to that shot from Haskins. Dive out there by Jimmy Havoc, and Haskins take control, taking Lynch off the apron. I think serving more to antagonise him. It's an interesting question to ask. Normally we ask ourselves in matches like this, who has got the... Oh, look at this, trying to antagonise Rob Lynch. That is the game plan by Haskins. You have to ask yourself, what is the game plan? Who is the person in this match that would last the longest in a fight? If this was a one-on-one contest, who would we say would go? I would wager every single competitor in this match would be that person. In any other contest, Lynch, Haskins, Williams, Havoc, they are people that go the distance. They know how to take pain. They know how to dish pain. They are born survivors, all four of them. So I'm not really necessarily sure this is going to be a question of intestinal fortune. I'm not sure this is going to be a case of who can survive more, because all four of them are known for it. They really are. Mark Haskins, the greatest comeback fighter in IPW history. Jimmy Havoc, he goes through pain like a chainsaw. He takes it, he dishes it, he doesn't stop. Doug Williams, 25 years he's built on resiliency. And Rob Lynch is called battle tested. Their LOs are about survival. So we've got to look elsewhere. We look at the technique of Mark Haskins as he tries to apply this crossface. Williams is fighting out of it though. Trying to fight out of it. Haskins trying to lock it. Williams has his arm. Look, he's got his hands locked. The hands locked, they stop the move from being correctly applied. So where'd you look? Well, Doug Williams, probably the more powerful. Probably more powerful of the four men, maybe. Rob Lynch also quite powerful. I think the power game certainly goes. So he goes to Lynch and Williams. However, I think the countenance there is that the speedier of the teams is definitely Havoc and Haskins. And I think the clincher, quite possibly, as far as I'm concerned, is Haskins and Havoc here. They're double teaming ways. They have wrestled as a tag team quite a bit over the last few months. They've got to know each other inside out, and that is what has made them unstoppable. They have had each other's backs. I think the experience of working together, that could really be the difference. Of course, not taking anything away from the prowess of Rob Lynch and Doug Williams as tag team competitors. Of course, Rob Lynch, former IPW World Tag Team Champion in that respect. Doug Williams has held tag belts all over the world, but where they don't know each other that well, they haven't had any time to get the feel for each other, for knowing when each other is really in trouble. Havoc and Haskins have been like clockwork ever since Parade of Champions. They have been completely in sync. But the story here, ladies and gentlemen, the story is that Doug Williams has been in the ring for a long, long time. He has taken heavy damage. Yes, he managed to really avoid the crossface for the most part, but Havoc and Haskins have been doing a number on him. Rob Lynch has been on the outside. He has been recuperating. Haskins with head of steam. Oh, look at Haskins! Haskins using momentum to take down Rob Lynch. That was brilliant by Mark Haskins. Don't like to always admit the sort of motives that are going on there, but that was a brilliant move. Haskins has not only ensured that Williams is isolated, but there's now no one to tag, even if he had the moment to tag. Haskins and Havoc knew, I really think they knew that Williams was the danger here, because Williams is the more experienced. Williams is used to being in wars like this. Battle-tested Rob Lynch is used to being in wars himself, but Doug Williams has a plethora. He has an encyclopedia of experiences. He knows what it is to fight back. They knew to take down Williams first. It was wise, but you can't keep Williams down forever, because he always gets a moment to hit a suplex like that. And believe you me, when Williams hits a suplex, it is always the change of a channel, the revolving of the game. It is the turn of a card. It is the roll of a die, because when Doug Williams hits a suplex, everything changes. And how about a second one for your trouble, Mr. IPW World Champion? Lynch is back to his feet. Havoc wants in. He wants Haskins to make the tag. Williams trying to crawl himself over, moving quite slowly. Haskins definitely the fresher out of him, and Williams gets the tag to Havoc. And there it is. Rob Lynch is in. And Rob Lynch is pretty fresh. Yes, he's been knocked off the apron a few times, but I think he's the fresher of the four men in the ring right now. What a senton on Havoc, crushing the air out of the King of the Goths. Rob Lynch has got a lot of pent-up aggression to get off his chest, and he would love to pull away Haskins and Havoc on the eve of his World Championship match at Fight For Your Right. He's demolishing Jimmy Havoc here. How often do we see Jimmy Havoc take shots like that without any sort of reply? Lynch has had enough of Haskins, but there's two of them, Rob. You've got to remember there are two of them in the ring. Always check your six. Always check the side. And that is the mistake that Rob Lynch has made, and that is why Haskins and Havoc are in control in this contest, because they've had each other's backs. They are working in tandem. They know exactly what they're doing. That is the inexperience of the tag team of Williams and Lynch. A spear! A spear! I don't believe it! A momentary error! A momentary error by Havoc and Haskins. Rob Lynch with the spear takes Havoc out of commission, and Williams is inserting himself in this contest. Went for another T-bone, didn't quite catch it. Haskins with the armbar! It's rolled over by Williams! Williams can't be stopped! A variation of the combination! Look at this! Look at this by Douglas! That was absolutely extraordinary! Absolutely extraordinary, wasn't it? And Havoc breaks it up. Goes to the acid rainmaker, Williams counters! Havoc sent to the outside, not all the way. Goes all the way thanks to Williams. This axe is getting faster, it's getting intense. The Ambassador with a roll-up. No, and Havoc pulls out Steve Linsky. Havoc pulls out Steve Linsky. I tell you what, they're willing to do anything. Oh, that's another difference between the two teams. Williams dives through the ropes. I tell you what, 25 years in the business, and he can still fly away like a cruiserweight on occasion. That is why he is such a deadly opponent. And Williams is taking Haskins. Williams is taking Havoc. He's taken him through the crowd. Jimmy Havoc, one of the greatest brawlers on the planet, but Williams is no slouch at all. Oh goodness me, where are they going? Oh, off the wall! Off the wall! Well, I can tell you in the ring that Lynch and Haskins getting a moment of recuperation, but it's Williams and Havoc at the moment. Where have they gone? Where are they going? They've left us. Our cameras can't pick this up. We've got nobody back there. All I can tell you is there's a brawl going on. There is a fight going on, and in the ring, IPW champion Haskins is prone. He's hitting with a title belt. Hitting with a title belt. And I think Steve Linsky saw it. Steve Linsky was in the back chasing after Williams. And Havoc too. No. Mark Haskins. Oh, wait a second here.
Before I beat you like the bitch that you are again, I want to remind you, last time we fought, I gave you the option to join us. Because I know how many problems you have in your life, but it's only now I've come to realize that the problem in your life is you.
Oh, that's absolutely heinous by Haskins.
Your life is a failure. You're a failure. And your hopes and your dreams of beating me for that championship are as much as a failure as you are. You have no hope of beating me for that championship, and you have no hope in life.
Oh, it's the most horrible words I've ever seen from Mark Haskins. The spear! Oh, he speared the life out of Mark Haskins! Linsky's still in the cover! Rob Lynch has been the world champion!
Here are your winners, the team of Doug Williams and Rob Lynch.
Mark Haskins talked as he always has, and Rob Lynch with the damnedest spear I swear to God he has ever hit in his career, broke the world champion in half. And if that happens on July 22nd, Mark Haskins will lose the world championship, and the battle-tested one will become the conqueror of IPW. Mark Haskins tried to make a statement on the microphone, but Rob Lynch was not prepared to do the same. He made his statement by driving through Mark Haskins like a truck. Rob Lynch staring at Rob Lynch is saying this is IPW and the World Championship is coming to me. He does not care about Haskins. This is beyond personal. This is hatred, ladies and gentlemen.